So, my dad said yesterday that I am not the mother of Tarzan. What does that mean? I don't know if that's a saying in English, but at least that's a saying in my family. La mamá de Tarzan. It basically means you're the shit. Like you're not that guy. You're replaceable. And that sounds hold on, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. He's not talking about my relationship with him or our relationship or dynamic as a father son or my role in the family, but he's more so talking about my role in the family business. So me, my brother, and my dad have a coffee catering business for events in Miami. At this point, I would like to say it's a six-figure business. We didn't do too well most last year, but starting in November, we're having five-figure months, and it's looking like we're pretty easily gonna hit six figures in revenue this year. Now, here is where I don't know what to do. Should I stay or should I go? I have a goal of making a lot of money. I know that based on the lifestyle I want to live, I need to make at least $1 million a year. And recently I've learned more that taxes are pretty brutal in the specific place that I want to live, which is New York City. So I really want to make $1 million after taxes in New York City. And to be completely fair, this business that I'm doing, let's be generous and say 50% of what we make is profit. So if we make $100,000 in a year, we're gonna make $50,000 profit. Then I have to split it with my brother and my dad. My dad, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure how much he owns of the business. My brother's much older than me, and he started this business years ago, like 15 years ago. I just recently came into it. And I don't know, my brother, I don't know if they're split 50-50, or I don't know, but basically they have a lot of coffee businesses. They have coffee schools, coffee training, barista training. That's all the same thing. And they have a coffee consulting. They have a coffee shop in Ecuador. But the biggest one is coffee training. They have a barista training school. And then there's catering, which is the catering part. We go to events, like corporate events and conferences, and we serve high quality coffee to a lot of people. I think okay, so about a year and a half ago, my brother told me, hey, I want to do this, and I started doing this. And I got it, it became ingrained into me, whether by myself, whether I came to these conclusions by myself or my family planted them in me, that I would be important and that it would pretty much be my thing. And to be completely honest, like I'm not even being unfair, I do at least 80% of the work. It's probably like 96. I grew it from zero to what it is now. And my brother did it in Ecuador as well, but he didn't do it here. Right now, he's pretty much, it's like almost like I'm an employee, but I've been treating this like my own business. Technically, it's not. And they know that I believe that this is my business, and they're not being evil. But the thing is, this business, it's not the best vehicle to make the money that I want to make. And even if I make substantial money, I would have to split it, and I would feel like I would be the main driver responsible for most of the growth, and I will not be compensated based on being the main driver. Of course, that's how businesses are sometimes. Sometimes investors, since they put up the initial money and risk at the beginning, they get to make the upside in the end. That makes sense. But that doesn't mean I can't leave. And even if I grow this business to make millions of dollars in revenue, will I be fairly compensated based on what I believe is my fair compensation? Even it doesn't matter the legality of it or what we agreed upon. It's just purely based on what I feel like I deserve. The other option is quitting and going all in on some other BS, such as I think sales is the number one thing I need to learn. I could become a door-to-door salesman. I could become a cold caller. Or I can get into the high-ticket sales online. High-ticket sales space online. I've already done door-to-door sales for like 4 months, and I didn't do too well. I didn't get any sales whatsoever, but that's mostly, I treated that time as mostly as a get outside of my comfort zone. I'm as hungry as I've ever been. I'm as disciplined as I've ever been. I have the best mentality I've ever had. So now I believe I can go in there and crush. But it's also scary. And by the way, I know this won't make me the money I want either, but it will allow me to improve a crucial part of my skill set. And you can also say, hey Nico, you can also do this in your own coffee catering business, get really good at sales. And yes, I could, but it's harder and it's not the same. If I were to sell solar panels, or if I were to sell a software, or mortgages, loans, or even pest control, it would be a more traditional sales cycle, and I would learn more traditional sales skills. Because right now I would be calling venues and hotels and event planners. It's kind of easy mode, and the hard mode, which is getting into huge venues like the Ritz-Carltons in Miami and really big conference hotels with a lot of bureaucracy, with a lot of layers and corporate and people not really interested in helping. That part, there's not enough of those people where I could practice over and over again. But if I were to become a cold caller, there's infinite people to call. There's only so many luxury, huge event conference spaces in Miami. I don't know, say there's like 40 of them. Let's say 200 of them, not even that much. And in the other places, I could call like 200 people per day for 50 years, probably the rest of my life, as new ones keep popping up. So definitely I would have more ability for volume and a more traditional sales, a more traditional sales experience doing literally anything else. And of course, I have to think of what do I want to do for the rest of my life. To be honest, I think if the upside was good enough with Coffee Hearts, with my coffee catering business being the biggest in the world, I might do it for the rest of my life. Maybe coffee shops here and there. I believe everything is a skill, and if I get good enough at a skill, whether it be operations or hiring or delegating, whether it be coffee shop or coffee catering, I could make a lot of money pretty much in anything. But it's just the best vehicle that I will have fun with. I think the thing I would have the most fun with eventually would be having my own personal brand. That's what I want to do, but I feel like that's more of my passion. But I don't want to sell courses, man. I don't think selling courses is bad. I just don't feel like any course really helps people, and I don't want to be sitting there on calls with people that have problems because they have money. To be honest, I want to do that, but I want to do that for free, and I don't want to guarantee results. This is a pure feeling. I could change my mind in the future. But yeah, that's the problem with having a personal brand and doing well on social media. I want to do well. I mostly crave the status from it. And I want to make friends that are similar like me, that think similar like me. But I don't know. I also have a deep belief that I can brainwash myself into believing anything, into liking anything, into doing anything. I've never been someone who likes math, physics, computer science, but I could do something like that, especially artificial intelligence, AI, and computer science. Those are probably the best skills right now in technology that have huge upsides. Of course, a lot of risks, a lot more goes into it. But I don't know, I'm just at a crossroads. Do I stay? Do I go? Do I start my own freaking marketing agency and just be in the trenches again? Or I think that's the hardest move. I've often heard you should do the thing that you feel the most friction, but it's not necessarily always true. And I don't want to just do this because I have a good thing going on with the coffee catering business, and I could go all in and try to make it the best in the world, because that's what it would take to achieve the money I want to achieve. Or I could use it for a year, 6 months, 2 years as more of a training ground, and then I do my own thing. But of course, that still leaves me doing something that I'm not all in on. I also want to do content. I don't know. It's a really tough decision. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I feel like I'm just gonna do the easiest thing, which is stay a little longer and go harder. But I don't know. I'll try to make the right decision. I don't just want to do what's easiest. Maybe it being the easiest decision, the easiest thing to do might be what's good for me. I'll be fair. If you want to comment, go comment. I'm not going to take you too seriously. I'm not going to lie. God bless you if you believe in love, or that all things happen for a reason or anything like that. Then you already believe in God, because God is those things. But who am I to know? I'm just a measly little human being.